welcome back. Stop playing with your phone.
Sorry, how was it?
Now, imagine €200 million appeared in your bank account. What would you do? Well, that happened to a Wexford man who recently suddenly found that millions had been accidentally deposited into his Revolut account. Now, he didn't get to keep it, but what we wanted to know is, first of all, what is Revolut? Our tech expert, Colin Baker, is here now to teach us more about money tech. Good morning, Colin.
Apparently they call it fintech. This is the magic word for it now.
I didn't know how to pronounce it, but I've
thought it was like a fish thing.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. So what is Revolut? What is fintech?
Fintech is financial technology, and Revolut is one of a number of what we call banking industry disruptors, if you like, in the same way as like e-scooters or MyTaxi or whatever have changed the whole travel and transport.
Why are they called disruptors? Because they're not the norm.
Because they're not the norm. They're disrupting the incumbent, the way things are, the way we've got
shaking things up,
shaking things up. That's a really good way of putting it. And that's what these sort of online app-based bank accounts are doing to the existing banks. Now, there's mixed opinions and mixed experiences of our existing banks. Some people love them, some people hate them, but they're, I suppose, a necessary evil. What these are doing is they're changing that, they're shaking things up, and they're giving us new, better features.
Right, well, let's start with the aforementioned Revolut. What is that?
Well, it's based in the UK. They've already supposedly got about 3 million users. And effectively, think of your bank account, your current bank account, complete with a MasterCard, but based on an app on your phone. You can see it there. Instead of going into your bank and having your passport and all that and having an interview or whatever and filling out a form, you can see it takes about 5 minutes to set up. You take a selfie, you take a picture of your passport, you sign up. It's free and it takes less than 10 minutes to do. You can then put money into that from an existing credit card or debit card or bank account.
Obviously, you can't just physically lodge money.
This is the thing. They don't have branches. There's minimal human interaction as such. It's all app-based.
And as a result, all the support is online as well.
Yeah, very much so. Now, you can actually pay a little bit more. There's a premium service as well, and there's a business service. And in the higher-end services that you do pay for, you do get a level of human support.
Now, this adds, the additional features of this include a thing called vaults, which is where this guy in Wexford, this money appeared. He thought he had about 200 quid in his vault, which is a savings branch.
It's very, very clever. All of them, and there's a few we'll go through, but they all have this idea of compartmentalizing money. So you have your main account, and then you might have a fund set up for your holiday.
Or whatever, or college.
Or college, exactly. And you can have it set so it automatically puts money across, or change from each transaction. I've actually got a vault set up so that if something's €2.50, it'll round it up and put the change, the loose change, into this other vault.
It's like having your pennies jar at home.
Exactly, the virtual pennies jar. And of course, your man ends up with
197 million. He had it for 2 hours, bless him.
They did say that was a glitch. Syntax, a glitch. He wouldn't have actually had access to that. There's been lots of stories of people ending up with money in their bank accounts.
N26.
So N26 is a similar type of thing. It's from Germany. Again, it takes minimal amounts of time and hassle to set up. The application itself is really easy to use. I think that's the clever trick to these. When you make a transaction with the card or with Apple or Google Pay, so you can use the contactless with your phone, that transaction instantly appears on your screen. That's quite nice in terms of knowing what you're spending, where you stand, and security, because if you know your current incumbent bank, when you make a transaction, it can be 2 days before that appears in your bank account. And suddenly you're looking at a random transaction and you think, what did I do? I don't remember paying that. Whereas with these online systems, they are instant. It's also easier. N26 has a feature where you can curtail and block certain transactions. So you can say, I don't want any online transactions on this card.
You can filter certain transactions.
You can turn off the card instantly. So if you've misplaced your card, instead of the palaver of ringing up the bank, you can flip a switch on the app and turn off the card instantly, and then turn it back on when you find it again.
This also offers free foreign exchange.
Yeah, so even on the free services like N26 or on the free Revolut, you get a certain amount of free foreign exchange. Now, if you actually look at what the traditional banks charge you, say if you go to the UK and you spend in sterling or you withdraw on an ATM there, and the difference between the actual market rate and the rate that they're charging you, it can be quite significant. I've worked it out and I'm ending up saving about €80 a month. Now, we're doing a bit of business in the UK, so it does make up a difference.
Every little help.
But literally it comes down to them, these systems up to a point being free, or at least at the market rate. So there's no fees as such for a limited amount of those transactions.
What about Curve? What's Curve?
Yeah, so Curve is a different thing altogether. I'm going to show you here when I go into mine. Curve is almost like a sort of all your credit cards in one card.
So it's a virtual wallet, is it?
Exactly. So instead of, obviously, there's people out there who have 4, 5, 6 cards. They could be loyalty cards, credit, debit cards. I've got 3 or 4 in my wallet. And what Curve does is it allows you to keep one card, that's it there, and you tap into the app and you can select what that card is. So right now it's my business card, but I can change it with one tap and now it becomes my personal card, which is a great way of having, say you have one debit card or one credit card and there's 2 of you involved, say a husband and wife or friends or 2 partners in a business. You don't want to have to go through the palaver of getting another card from the bank. You can get one of these and it'll be all your cards, including, I don't even have the business card on me, but that becomes the business card. And again, because it's an app-based account, it gives me a notification as soon as a transaction is made. Instantly. Right. And I really like that because there's quite a bit of transactions in the business, and even for me personally, and it's just nice to be able to review. All of these apps have a budgeting facility, so you can actually see how much you've spent in entertainment, in transport, in healthcare, in groceries, and it just gives you a better
management,
better understanding of what. And I think half the battle of financing and budgeting is awareness of what you're spending.
Absolutely. Onto an Irish app now, which is called Circle. What's Circle?
Yeah, Circle is quite a simple, straightforward application. It seems to be geared towards students, maybe co-living friends, whatever, whereby they're sharing costs, or maybe they're saving up for a present or a holiday or a festival or whatever. And it just means I can send you money from the app. And it's designed for smaller amounts. And if you don't have that app, it takes you about 2 minutes to set that up. And to take that down and either keep it in the app so you can send it to other people, or put it back into a bank account. Now, currently, I don't know how they make money because there's no fees on it at all. So I gather there's some hidden fee. So I can't find it. So it seems to be a really, really good idea for anybody who shares a dwelling. Maybe they're saving up together for a present or a holiday.
Is this one similar, Splitwise?
Yeah, Splitwise is very clever. Similar concept, but a little bit more controllable, and it works out figures for you. So often I don't have a great maths head on me. I don't know about you, if you're a mathematician extraordinaire, but if I pay for something in the house, we've my brother, myself, my best friend and Wesley's girlfriend living together, and often we'll have a bill come in and I'm trying to think, well, I paid the bill, but then I owe Natalie 20 quid, and I'm trying to work out exactly what it is. In Splitwise, when you add a bill and you say, well, I've paid 20% or I've paid half of that already, it instantly figures out what the breakdown is. So you can say, well, we've agreed to go 4 ways, or we've agreed that I pay half and the other 50% is spread between the rest of them. And it's really straightforward to do, and it keeps track of whether those other people have paid their share or not. So it's less about them paying you and more about keeping track. There's no payment link there. This is not about holding money. This is about simple figuring out of bills in a co-dwelling.
And again, this is free as far as you can.
Exactly. There doesn't seem to be any fees or bills. It's even a free app.
Just to finish up then, Colin, just generally kind of, how are people feeling about the security of these apps?
It's a very, very good question, because it is, as we say, it's a disruptor, so people aren't used to how this works. First of all, both the first ones I mentioned, N26 and Revolut, are supported in the UK by a UK bank and by an EU central bank. Same with N26. So you still are afforded the same protection.
There was some
regulation. It's 80 grand
yeah.
is your protection level. So you've got the same level of protection from that company going out of business or the bank going out of business. Arguably, you've got more security because Bank of Ireland, well, I won't mention banks, I suppose, even though I already did.
Banks.
But the existing banks are so big, it's very hard for them to move with technology properly.
It's a longer process.
It takes them a long time and a lot of money to do it. These smaller organisations can move very quickly. So they're teched up beyond the norm. And that technology, the instant notifications of a transaction, the ability to see on your dashboard exactly what you do.
Yeah.
You can even set up virtual cards there for one transaction. one card for 5 minutes so you can make an online transaction and then that card vanishes. So there's very clever
He
security
loves it.
features.
You love all that.
But can you tell? How can you tell?
I know,
Simon?
yeah, it's great.
I can't believe you discovered my secret.
Listen, sage advice as always. And entertaining as usual,
No,
Colin. Thank you
thanks,
very
Simon.
much.